Welcome to the Balanced Blood Sugar Podcast, where we focus on everyday wellness for everyone. I'm Adrienne Wheat, a registered nurse, here to share tips, habits, and lifestyle shifts that can help you feel your best by stabilizing blood sugar and improving your overall health. Everything we discuss is designed for general health and routine education because everyone deserves to feel empowered with the right information. But I'm not your personal nurse, so make sure to check with your healthcare provider before making any changes. Let's dive into today's episode. Hi, friend, and welcome back to the Balanced Blood Sugar Podcast. I'm your host, Adrienne Wheat, registered nurse, holistic wellness guide, and mom who knows a thing or two about late nights and early mornings. Today's episode is one you're going to want to cozy up to, literally, because we're talking about nighttime routines and how winding down wisely can give you steadier blood sugar and smoother mornings. And don't worry, we're not talking about fancy stretching poses or elaborate spa nights. We're keeping it simple and actually doable. So if your mornings feel like chaos or your sleep is more toss and turn than deep and restful, then this one's for you. So let's dive in. Let's start with a quick peek behind the curtain. Your body's nighttime hormones. Picture a three-legged stool: cortisol, melatonin, and insulin. If one leg is off, the whole thing wobbles. So here's how they work. Your cortisol is your get up and go hormone, and it should naturally fall in the evening. But if you're doom scrolling on your phone, stressing, or even eating a late sugary snack, cortisol can actually spike, keeping you wired when you want to be winding down. Next up is melatonin. This is your body's natural sleep hormone. It starts to rise when the sun goes down, if you're not blocking it with screens or bright lights, which put off blue light that inhibit melatonin production. And then lastly, we have insulin. This is the hormone that helps control your blood sugar, but it is also influenced by the other two. When cortisol is high at night, insulin doesn't work as well, which means higher overnight glucose, and often a blood sugar crash in early morning hours. So do you see how they're connected? This is why your nighttime routine really matters for steady blood sugar, and not just overnight, but into the next day. You can think of it like setting the tone on a piano. If the nighttime hormones are in harmony, the rest of your body plays in tune the next morning. So let's break this down into real life. A steady nighttime routine isn't rigid or fancy. It's rhythmic. It helps your nervous system know, hey, it's safe to relax now. Here's what it might look like. You can start dimming the lights around 8 p.m. Use warm lighted lamps or salt lamps instead of bright overhead lights. Your body needs that darkness cue. Then you can start powering down screens 60 to 90 minutes before bed. If you can't avoid them, try blue light blockers or apps like Flux or Night Shift on your phone. Or you can even go old school and use a paper book or journaling. And then lastly, you could do blood sugar supportive bedtime snacks. Now, some people, especially if they tend to wake up between 2 and 3 a.m. feeling anxious or having a racing heart, they may actually be experiencing a blood sugar crash. What happens is after an unbalanced dinner or no evening snack, blood sugar can dip too low during the night. So the body responds by pumping out stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to bring it back up, which can jolt you awake with restlessness, a fast heartbeat, nausea, or even night sweats. So that's why a small protein-rich snack before bed can be a game changer for sleep and morning energy. A few ideas include a boiled egg with a few almond crackers. You could have a spoon of almond butter with some chia pudding or Greek yogurt. You could have some turkey with cucumbers or some cottage cheese with flaxseed and cinnamon. The snack isn't about indulging. It's about supporting your body's glucose stability overnight. And also to think beyond food, you can try a warm shower or bath after your snack to help your body temperature drop afterward, which signals melatonin release and helps deepen sleep. So let's have some other more real talk for a second. We live in a screen-heavy, stress-saturated world, and those things sneak into our evenings way more than we realize. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin. So watching TV or scrolling TikTok or YouTube at 10 p.m. is like shining a flashlight in your eyes and telling your brain, hey, wake up, it's daytime. And then you pair that with stress, which keeps cortisol high, and high cortisol means your body thinks it needs to stay in fight or flight mode, which is not great for rest or for your blood sugar. So what can we do about those things? We can swap in calm. So start paying attention to what overstimulates you at night. Is it scrolling the news? Is it intense crime dramas? I'm a little guilty there. On a TV or even in book form, group messages or Facebook comment threads that are stirring up drama. The reality is your brain doesn't know what is real from what is fake. So it is all real for your hormone systems. So instead of something that's going to stir up your hormone system, consider reading scripture or writing a gratitude list. You could try sipping some herbal tea like chamomile or lemon balm and reading like a drama-free, low-key book. Or you could try putting some gentle music in the background while you prep your breakfast for the next day or get ready for bed. Anything that kind of just signal to your body it's time to relax and chill out and not stir up the, oh my goodness, what's going to happen type of dramas in your brain. Now, let's talk a little bit more about some more good stuff. Movement, breath, and prayer. These are the wind down tools that work with your body in a very holistic way. You can start with some stretching. A few minutes of gentle stretching can help reduce muscle tension and calm your nervous system. And then if you pair that with some deep breathing, you can try a simple pattern like 4-7-8 breathing. You inhale for 4, you hold for 7, exhale for 8. Like this isn't woo-woo. It's actually how God designed your parasympathetic nervous system to reset. So if it makes you feel better, you could even pray through each part. Something like, Lord, I inhale your peace. I hold on to your promises. I exhale my worries. Or you could just simply meditate on his words in your heart while you're breathing. Or just, if religion isn't your thing, you can just, meditate on your day or other things you want to think about. And then you could try and take a short walk. A short, slow stroll outside as the sun sets. You can use that time to meditate or breathe and just let the stress of the day fall away. And that's one of my favorite ways to transition into rest, if I can make it happen. Those nice sunset strolls are super great for good reason. You can also keep a short wind down journal. You can just jot down 1 to 3 sentences answering, what went well today? What am I grateful for today? What burden do I need to lay down tonight? These small rituals that are targeting our holistic selves, we talk a lot about holistic, and holistic means we recognize that we're not just a physical body. We have a physical body, we have, psychology, we have emotions, we have a spiritual part of who we are. There's so many different parts of who we are and they all work together. So when we come at it from a holistic wellness standpoint, we're trying to hit all those different parts and align well with all those parts together so that it creates a space for true restoration and you can get restored, all holistically through your whole self. So if you need a little bit more permission to rest, hello, overachievers, put my hand in the air here. Let me remind you of this beautiful promise. It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives to his beloved sleep. Psalm 127:2. Friend, God doesn't just allow you to rest. He gives it. Sleep is a gift. It's not a reward you have to earn. When we steward our bodies and our rhythms well, we position ourselves to receive that gift more easily. So let's stop glorifying the hustle and the bustle, and we'll just start glorifying him, even in how we rest. So here is your practical challenge this week. I want you to pick one thing to shift in your nighttime rhythm. Maybe it's dimming the lights. Maybe it's swapping your phone for a book or a prayer walk or short walk outside or a blood sugar balancing snack. And maybe it's, spending some time thinking about your day and praying instead of scrolling whenever your head hits the pillow. You don't have to overhaul everything. Just start somewhere. Just pick one thing and watch how your rest quality increases and your mornings even begin to steady out as well. So that's it for today, people. And if this episode blessed you, please pass on the love by sharing it with a friend. It helps more people find real answers for blood sugar balance without the fluff or the fear. And thanks for being here. I will see you next Tuesday with another episode designed to help you live lighter, steadier, and more rooted in grace. Until then, remember, you are fearfully and wonderfully made and deeply loved. So sleep well, my friend.